is Kate Emily Brindley, and I'm a global advocate and coach for people experiencing borderline personality disorder. I founded the organisation called Each Person Counts, and we also provide advocacy and consultancy for survivors of childhood sexual abuse trauma and people experiencing complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So the clip that I'm doing today is on dialectical behaviour therapy, and I am a massive fan of dialectical behaviour therapy developed by Marsha Linehan. And I believe that dialectical behaviour therapy saves lives. 1 in 10 people who are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder actually kill themselves. That's a lot of people. If we can get all those people into a quality dialectical behaviour therapy program, we have the chance to save many lives. So I want to get this message out to as many people that dialectical behaviour therapy is an evidence-based treatment for borderline personality disorder. And there's 2 good things that came out of me being told that I had a personality disorder, that I was in between psychotic and neurotic. 1, it got me into dialectical behaviour therapy, which completely changed the course of my life. And 2, I've been able to start up Each Person Counts. So I'm not going to go into heaps and heaps of detail about DBT. I'll put a link to Marsha Linehan's website under here, and I'll do some mini clips on some of the skills that I've used in my life. But basically, before I did DBT, I had a lot of therapy, but it wasn't skills-based therapy. So I'd had a lot of person-centered therapy where a counsellor, who I've worked with some brilliant therapists, would listen to me and validate me and let me tell my story. And I needed all of that. But when we're in a state of stress, what we need is here and now skills. How do we deal with this emotional and thought dysregulation now? I need skills now. Just talking doesn't help when we're in that state, and that's what dialectical behaviour therapy gives us. So I did it for 6 months. I did 1 day a week for 6 months. So it involved 4 hours of group therapy followed by 1 hour one-on-one coaching with an awesome guy. Hi, if you're watching. And also we could call 9 to 5 anytime and get a 10-minute freak out phone session if we needed it, which I used a couple of times. So once I got into that program, I made sure I found the highest quality one in marvellous Melbourne, and I was like, this is it. I'm doing this, because this specialist who originally diagnosed me with BPD and then complex PTSD, he said to me, if you complete this program, you have a 90% chance of going into complete recovery. I was like, I am there. I will do whatever it takes to get out of this hell. I'll do it. I'm committed, and I did it. And when I graduated, I felt wonderful. And so it was just a couple of things. It's distress tolerance, it's emotional regulation, it's mindfulness, and it's interpersonal communication. And the group was run by 2 therapists, and then I had my one-on-one, and all the DBT therapists would come together every week and discuss, how can we help this person more, which helps them, because there's sometimes a high burnout rate for working with people who have BPD. The other thing is that you fill out a diary card, which you can get on an app, and you do that every night, and you tick off what dialectical behaviour skills you use that day. So you're getting ingrained, you're training your brain to use the skills, to plant the seeds in your head and reflect on which skills are needed in which situation. And then each week when you're in the group, we talk about what happened during the week and what skills we used, and further ingraining in us and hearing other people ingrains the skills. Let's get skilled at this. We can rewire our brain. The latest research on brain neuroplasticity shows that we can change the way that our brain works. We can change the way that we think. We can change the way that we feel. It's plastic. It's not set in stone. So I'd say the greatest gift that dialectical behavior therapy gave me is that it grounded me in a mindfulness practice. I learned about what it is to be mindful, and I had this idea that mindfulness was a type of meditation where I had to sit for hours straight backed with a sore back trying to get rid of my thoughts, and that's not what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is about being in the here and now, whatever we're doing, focusing on our breath. Focusing on our 5 senses. I can see the lights. I can see the trees outside. I can hear the rain on the roof. When I wash the dishes, I wash the dishes. When I brush my teeth, I brush my teeth. When I notice that I'm having a thought, I can witness that and say, I just had a thought. I can stand outside the thought. I can let the thought be what it is, and I can allow the thought to come and go. I can be in my body, in the here and now, grounded in my body, not dissociating up there all the time like I did for years, up in the clouds. So being with people doing mindfulness together and being drilled mindfulness, 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 and then seeing the rewards of practicing mindfulness, even if it's just going to the toilet, or hopping into the car and putting on my favorite radio station and listening to a song that comes on that I love and being fully present to that song, really taking that song in and enjoying that song, making me feel happy to be alive, to have a life worth living. That's the greatest gift that dialectical behavior therapy gave me, is the gift of learning mindfulness. And it's not as hard as it sounds, and that when you actually get taught it by people that know about stress and trauma and want to help you, and you do it with other people, it just becomes part of your life. It becomes easy. It's a way of the future. Everyone's getting on board with mindfulness, and DBT grounds us in mindfulness. The other thing that it gave me is that I got to sit in with a group of people who knew what it felt like to be labelled as having a borderline personality disorder. So I wasn't on the outside. I wasn't the black sheep. I'm one of them. We were together. We had compassion for each other. We could listen to each other and give something loving to each other in response. Sometimes, it gets a bit heated, but that's normal, and the trainers hold the space, and it's structured. And there was a lot of tears. I heard stories like people suffering, what they've gone through in their lives, what it's taken to get where they are, what it's taken to stay alive. It's a miracle, the people that you meet in DBT and what you share with each other and how you move each other and what you give each other. The greatest gift that you give each other in DBT is you give each other the gift of validation, of group validation. I hear you, I see you, I feel you, I am here for you, you are one of us, it is okay. Yes, give me more. 6 months of it. You can't buy that kind of thing. You got to earn that. You got to turn up and put your butt on that seat every week, even when you don't want to, and it's hard, because if you miss a certain number, you got to start a block again. So Marsha Linehan is an absolute champion. I absolutely promote her work. She's made a massive positive difference in the world. Let's get dialectical behavior therapy quality programs to as many people around the world with borderline personality disorder as we possibly can. Let's help people heal, and they can go on and become healers themselves. And there's people that have done DBT that then be trained to become, trainers, and this affects people's lives. This saves lives. I'm very, very passionate about it, if you can't tell. I know that for some people with BPD, it's not possible for them to do dialectical behavior therapy, and there's other modalities that might work for you, like iRest Yoga Nidra, which I practice daily in the comfort and privacy of my own home. So that is GBT. If you know anyone that has BPD, or you have it and you want to know more, check out the link about what it involves. Please forward this link to anyone you know who is suffering. There's a way out of this. There's a way through this, and it's just a wonderful program, dialectical behavior therapy, and please check it out.